And if you are a fan of the classic content on Peacock, whether it's WWE, WCW, or ECW, you better start binging as much as you can because that content is gone at the end of the month. You know, when I realized this, because I was on Peacock, and when you bring up some of the classic stuff, you see a warning on each episode. So as of this morning, it says 23 days left, right? And this includes other promotions as well, like Mid-South Wrestling and Smoky Mountain. Who the hell knows where those are going to end up, if anywhere? See, this is the problem when WWE buys up all the different tape libraries. But I posted a tweet on Monday that kind of went viral, just saying WWE, WCW, and ECW library content will be leaving Peacock at the end of the month. Just an FYI if you are interested in the classic stuff on there. And clearly there were a lot of people who were not aware of this and who were very upset and very disappointed and asking questions. Where is it going? Where is it going? And I wish I had an answer for them, but I really don't have an answer for it. What it means is that in just a matter of days now, little over 3 weeks, WWE will no longer have one central sort of singular home for its classic content, which is still spread out kind of all over the place as it is. It is very much still incomplete. But at least in this country, you know, Peacock was, I would say, that one centralized place where you can find the library organized in some sort of meaningful way. Not nearly as good as it was with the WWE network. Boy, did we not realize how good we had it back then. You kind of realize as time goes on. But that would be what Peacock is, and we are no longer going to have that in a matter of days. Obviously, this is very upsetting for those of you who care about the old stuff, as I do. The Vault channels on YouTube, there's multiple Vault channels. There's one for WCW, there's one for NXT. The main one is the WWE Vault. And they launched that a while back, and it has become a favorite of mine. I'm literally checking it and on it every single day. If nothing else, I may just bring up a match or a show or a Coliseum video they upload, you know, while I'm eating breakfast or lunch. Like, I'm on it every single day. So I love the Vault. The Vault, though, is far from perfect. The Vault, they are uploading things in bits and pieces. There's really no organization to it. It's also very incomplete. I would not at all be surprised. It's not something I've read or heard or anything, but I would not at all be surprised if they eventually shift to a pay model on the YouTube channel, at least for certain types of content. I mean, they're always looking to squeeze as much money out of this as possible, so I'm kind of surprised they haven't already done that. But like, I'll give you an example also of the issue when it comes to the YouTube stuff. We just got through Survivor Series, and they uploaded a full Survivor Series show in 1991, and then I was like, I wonder if they're going to post the Tuesday in Texas follow-up. This was a little experiment they did back in 91 where they were going to try to have a pay-per-view the week after Survivor Series on a Tuesday. And that's where Hogan won the belt back from The Undertaker, and we got the Macho Man against Jake the Snake and all that, and they did. And on Tuesday, they uploaded this Tuesday in Texas, which is also on Peacock, but the full show is now on the Vault channel on YouTube. I'm like, all right, that's pretty cool. And I'm watching this, and then I realized that it's not exactly complete because there was a major, major angle on that show. Honestly, it's the main thing that show is remembered for. And it came after the Randy Savage-Jake Roberts match. This was also in the aftermath of the snakebite incident. And Elizabeth is in the ring and she's trying to shield Randy, who's being DDT'd and beaten up by Jake after the match. And Jake is teasing that he has another snake. He has the King Cobra. And we're going to get a repeat of this angle where Savage got bit by the snake. Right? And Elizabeth is on her knees and shielding her husband and crying. And what follows is something that even for today, forget about it. You never see anything like this on the show today, but especially for back then, when they were still very much in a very cartoony era of WWF. This was a very heavy angle where Jake grabbed her by the hair and slapped her across the face. I mean, he gave the mat a good stomp, you know, for added effect. But the visual of Elizabeth, you know, someone striking Elizabeth was like, oh my God, I can't believe that this asshole just did this. How dare he? This man has to die now. He has to be put to death, right? And Jack Tunney, the president, comes down. He's telling Jake, get out of there. Gorilla Monsoon on commentary with Bobby Heenan. He's freaking out. Like, it was a great angle to put a lot of heat on Jake Roberts. And then it's like, oh my God, what is Savage going to say? Well, he doesn't even realize what just happened. And Savage is a maniac to begin with. And so they cut out the slap. You don't even see him like pick her up or anything, bring, like, you know, by the hair, bring her to her feet. They completely cut that part of it out. Now, the whole thing is there in its entirety on Peacock and I think on Netflix and other countries. My guess is why they would edit it here and not there is because they don't want to be in violation of some sort of content rules on YouTube. YouTube has enough crazy rules as it is. It's hard to keep up. But I mean, you could find far worse than that on YouTube, right? At least slap, no pun intended, at least slap a warning on the show or something, right? But they cut out the most talked about and arguably important part of the show because they kept in the post-match promos that mentioned the slap, where Gene Okerlund is disgusted with Jake. How can you do that? He's talking about, oh my God, it felt so good. I should have to pay for that, right? Oh, you're disgusting. Get out of here. And then Savage, who has the mother of all meltdowns, right? And they're talking about how this man struck Elizabeth. But like, if you never saw the show before, you would watch it and wonder, like, what the hell are they talking about? I didn't see any slap. What are they talking about? But they cut that whole part out. So as much as I love the Vault, content editing on there is always going to be a big issue. I think it might have been Ibu the other day. He was asking whether or not the Vault has uploaded any full shows that contain Chris Benoit matches. Because on the network previously and on Peacock and Netflix right now, they never edited Benoit out of those old Nitros or Raws or pay-per-views. But it's true, of all the full episodes that have been uploaded to YouTube, to the Vault, they have skipped over anything that includes Chris Benoit. Which means you're not just missing the Benoit parts if you care to see them. Some people don't. That's fine. The problem is you're missing whole episodes with everything else also, which is complete and total bullshit. Like, they're not just cutting out his segments. We're talking whole episodes of WWE and WCW and ECW content that simply are not being uploaded. They're being skipped. That's a lot of content because he worked across multiple promotions over a period of many years. So that's the sort of thing, that's one of the big drawbacks when it comes to uploading this shit on YouTube, other than the fact that there's no real organization to it. The belief had been that the existing deal for the WWE library material would expire in March of next year, but as seen with them jumping early to ESPN, the rights deal is also expiring earlier than originally expected. So that's why when I saw the 28 days left, I'm like, oh, would have been nice for WWE to say something about this, but it's like, okay, I guess this stuff is leaving Peacock very soon. So the question is, where is all this stuff going to land? They still have not announced anything. And truthfully, this stuff is not a priority for them. I don't think they give a shit. Like, it doesn't do big numbers on Peacock. If it did, they would upload new stuff more often. So they may just be content to release stuff in drips and drabs on YouTube and just take the ad revenue. Or like I said, possibly turn them into a pay model at some point. ESPN has expressed an interest in the past in possibly acquiring the rights once they become available. That doesn't mean they will, but they have expressed an interest. Especially if Freddie Prinze Jr. knows what he's talking about. They may already be having buyer's remorse over the deal they made, and that's for the new stuff. They may not be in any great rush to acquire the old stuff if they're unhappy with how the new stuff is doing so far. Netflix could be another option. They already have the Raw Vault, but the Raw Vault still is not complete. The Raw Vault has been up there for a year now. I don't think they've added a single new episode to the archives in at least 9 months. Like, that first year of Raw from 1993, they still only have 7 episodes listed for that entire year that you can go watch. 1994 has 4 of them. There were a hell of a lot more than 4 episodes of Raw in 1994. That I can tell you. Like the Attitude Era. 1998, they have 20 episodes for the entire year. It's even less than that for 1999. Like, the Raw Vault is shit. That does not bode well for all of the other content if Netflix gets it. But Netflix internationally may be the only way to access some of this stuff in a few weeks once the deal with Peacock is up. Right? Yet another example of why you need to fire up the old VPN. Using a VPN and logging into Netflix through another country. That may be your best bet in a few weeks. But this is why you should never get rid of your physical media. And I've made that mistake. I've gotten rid of physical media because I just ran out of space. And I regret doing that, right? They can't take that away from you. And you get the stuff in its original unedited form. We may see the rise of the tape traders again soon coming out of this.